At the peak of its power, the Galactic Empire was an unstoppable force, a vast civilization that ruled countless star systems with advanced technology and overwhelming military strength. For centuries, it had crushed resistance from alien worlds without mercy, expanding its territory and control across the galaxy. But recently, reports had begun to spread about a strange new species, the humans, who had emerged from a small blue planet called Earth. Unlike the usual conquered civilizations, humans seemed different. They were not hiding or begging for peace, nor were they begging for mercy. Instead, they moved quietly but quickly, colonizing new worlds far beyond their solar system. Scouts sent by the Empire watched closely, expecting to see signs of weakness or fear, but found none. Humans did not submit, and they did not surrender. Instead, where war once raged, humans were rebuilding. They repaired broken cities and brought life back to worlds devastated by conflict. More surprising to the Empire was how humans formed strong friendships with smaller, weaker species that had long suffered under Imperial rule. These alliances were strange, unusual, and they unsettled the Empire's leaders. The humans showed a kind of strength the Empire had never faced before, not just weapons and ships, but a will to protect and unite. The Empire's arrogance did not allow for respect. They dismissed humans as a minor nuisance, a species that would soon be crushed like all others. Confident and proud, the Empire sent an envoy to Earth carrying a clear message: surrender and join the Empire or be destroyed without mercy. This warning was delivered with cold certainty, the Empire's way of demanding control before any resistance could grow. But instead of fear or submission, the humans responded in a way no one expected. The entire Empire's communication networks were flooded with one single word broadcast from Earth: run. That word echoed through Imperial halls and starships, simple yet heavy with meaning. It was a warning, not a plea, a challenge, not a surrender. The humans gave the Empire one chance to turn away, to leave them alone and save themselves from a battle they did not understand yet. The meaning was clear to those who could read between the lines. The Empire had never fought humans before, and it was about to regret ever underestimating them. The tension grew. The leaders of the Empire debated and planned, unsure of what to expect. The message left them uneasy, a feeling foreign to their long history of victories. Meanwhile, on Earth, human leaders watched quietly, prepared for whatever came next. They knew the Empire's strength was great, but they also knew humans held a power far more dangerous than technology or numbers. It was a power born from resilience, unity, and a refusal to back down. The warning was clear, but the true battle had yet to begin. The Galactic Empire, confident in its unmatched power and long history of conquering weaker civilizations, dismissed the cryptic warning from humanity with laughter and arrogance. To the Empire's leaders, humans were just another species to be crushed quickly and without mercy, a disorganized group lacking the strength or unity to challenge their vast armada. With this belief, the Empire wasted no time mobilizing one of its largest fleets ever assembled, sending warships packed with soldiers and advanced weaponry toward Earth. They expected a swift victory, a demonstration of power that would break human resistance before it could even begin. However, on Earth, the human leaders were far from unprepared. Behind the scenes, they had been quietly building defenses and bringing together their divided nations in a way never seen before. Old rivalries were set aside as a unified command structure was created, ensuring that every ship, every soldier, and every city was connected in a single plan. Advanced defense systems, designed not only with human technology, but also with alien designs captured and improved upon, were activated. Humans had learned that survival meant innovation and cooperation, and they were ready to prove it. When the Empire's fleet finally arrived in Earth's orbit, they expected to encounter a disorganized and scared enemy. Instead, they were met with swift, unpredictable resistance that shook their confidence. It was not the overwhelming firepower that caught the Empire off guard, but the cleverness and adaptability of human tactics. Humans did not rely on sheer force. They fought with smart, unexpected moves, using the environment, technology, and surprise to their advantage. Small groups of human pilots launched daring attacks, slipping through enemy defenses and disabling key systems with precision. Ground forces used guerrilla tactics that confused the Empire's soldiers, who were trained for straightforward battles, not the creative and flexible warfare humans employed. Each skirmish showed that humans could change their strategy instantly, adapting to the Empire's strengths and weaknesses in real time. This deep understanding of war as a living, changing game frustrated the Empire's commanders. Yet, despite these early signs, the Empire continued to underestimate human determination and willpower. They believed that with enough firepower and numbers, humans would eventually break. But the humans' refusal to back down, their courage under pressure, and their ability to unite unlikely allies made the Empire realize this would not be a quick or easy campaign. Tensions rose within the Empire's command as losses mounted and plans failed. The arrogance that had led them to believe an easy victory was being challenged by an enemy they had never faced before, a species that did not fear death and fought not just to survive, but to protect everything they held dear. As battles continued, the stage was set for a war that would test the limits of both civilizations and change the galaxy forever. The Empire had ignored the warning, but humanity was ready to show what it truly meant to fight for freedom. When the Empire's massive fleet finally arrived in Earth's orbit, the humans revealed a power the galaxy had never seen before. Their ships were unlike anything the Empire had prepared for, equipped with adaptive shields that changed in real time to block attacks, and weapons developed from a mix of human ingenuity and scavenged alien technology. These vessels moved with surprising speed and precision, dodging blasts and striking back in unexpected ways. The human pilots used hit-and-run tactics, exploiting weaknesses in the Empire's formations, and communicated seamlessly with one another to coordinate devastating attacks. On the ground and in space, human soldiers fought with a bravery that amazed even their allies. These soldiers adapted quickly to shifting battle conditions, making bold decisions on the fly and refusing to retreat even when outnumbered. What surprised the Empire most was the presence of allied species who had chosen to fight alongside humans. These former victims of imperial oppression had placed their trust in humanity, bringing their own unique skills and weapons to the fight. Together they formed a diverse but tightly united force, blending technology and tactics in ways the Empire had never imagined. As battles raged across Earth's orbit and surface, the Empire's commanders faced something they had never experienced before: strategic defeat. Losses mounted quickly, and confusion spread among their ranks as humans outmaneuvered and outthought them at every turn. Ships that were once symbols of invincibility were shattered, and well-trained soldiers found themselves overwhelmed by the unexpected combination of human courage and clever alliances. The Empire's pride began to crumble under the weight of this new reality. In a desperate move, the Empire demanded a ceasefire, hoping to halt the human advance and negotiate terms before losing even more. But humanity was no longer a species to be bargained with from a position of weakness. The leaders of Earth stood firm and made it clear that surrender was not an option. They were prepared to defend their freedom no matter the cost, willing to face any challenge to protect their home and their allies. This moment marked a turning point in the conflict, a declaration that humanity would not be conquered or controlled. The galaxy watched in awe as humans stood united and unyielding, proving that their warning to the Empire was not empty words. The battle for Earth was only the beginning, and the fight for freedom had just begun. As news of humanity's fierce resistance spread like wildfire throughout the galaxy, oppressed species who had long suffered under the Empire's harsh rule found new hope. Stories of human courage, clever tactics, and their ability to unite former enemies inspired countless worlds to rise up against their imperial masters. This wave of rebellion fractured the Empire's control, causing chaos in regions once thought secure. In response, the humans did not simply sit back and watch. They reached out to these liberated worlds, forming a coalition based on mutual respect and shared goals. This new alliance combined diverse technologies, battle strategies, and a fierce determination to stand against the Empire's might. The humans and their allies shared knowledge, exchanged resources, and planned coordinated attacks that kept the Empire off balance. The Empire, once confident in its total control, found itself struggling to maintain order. Rebellions flared, across multiple fronts, stretching Imperial forces thin and forcing commanders to make difficult decisions about where to send reinforcements. The human coalition used this opportunity to innovate further, employing tactics beyond simple battlefield fighting. Psychological warfare became a powerful tool as humans and their allies spread messages that encouraged fear and doubt within Imperial ranks. Sabotage missions targeted supply lines, communication hubs, and key installations, crippling the Empire's ability to respond effectively. At the same time, diplomacy played a vital role. Human diplomats worked tirelessly to bring new species into the coalition, convincing them that their freedom was within reach if they stood together. This combination of military strength, clever strategy, and unity presented a challenge unlike anything the Empire had ever faced. The once unstoppable force now confronted a united front that pushed back harder with each passing day. Every battle, every alliance, and every act of resistance demonstrated the truth that resilience and unity could challenge even the mightiest powers. The humans had not only survived, they had changed the course of the galaxy's future. With every step forward, the coalition grew stronger, lighting a path toward freedom for all who dared to dream of a world without oppression. The tide was turning, and the Empire would soon learn that the era of unquestioned domination was coming to an end. The final battle took place near the very heart of the Galactic Empire's capital, where the fate of the galaxy would be decided. In a single epic confrontation, humans and their allies gathered their combined forces, preparing for what would be the most daring and bold plan ever attempted against the Empire's overwhelming military power. Unlike previous fights, this battle was not just about ships and weapons. It was about challenging the very mindset that had made the Empire so arrogant and blind to change. The humans used every advantage they had learned through years of conflict, advanced technology, flexible strategies, and the deep trust built among the diverse coalition of species. They struck swiftly and unexpectedly, breaking through the Empire's defenses in ways the Imperial commanders had never imagined possible. The Empire's fleets, built for dominance through brute force and rigid command, found themselves outmatched by a force that could adapt instantly to any situation. The battle was fierce and brutal, with countless ships and soldiers fighting for every inch of space. But the humans fought not only for survival but to rewrite the rules of power and justice in the galaxy. Each move they made showed that freedom was not just a word but a cause worth risking everything to protect. As the battle wore on, cracks appeared in the Empire's once unshakable foundation. The arrogance that had led to their downfall now forced them to face the reality that their reign would never be the same. With their fleets broken and morale shattered, the Empire had no choice but to retreat, ending centuries of unchallenged rule. In the quiet after the storm, the humans stood victorious, not just as conquerors, but as symbols of hope and strength to all oppressed beings across the stars. The warning they had given at the beginning was no bluff or empty threat. It had been a clear message, a single chance to avoid destruction. Run was humanity's one and only warning, and those who ignored it now faced the consequences. The galaxy looked toward a new future, one where the spirit of resilience, unity, and justice guided the way forward. The humans had proven that even the mightiest empires could fall when faced with a force that would never surrender, and that the fight for freedom was the most powerful battle of all.